Good day, I am Janine Cayabyab from BSc2 Block 1. Welcome to Anatomy and Physiology Laboratory 2. In this lesson, we will talk all about the skin and its structures, the different bones of the skeletal systems, and the major muscles of the human body. The first one is the skin. The skin is the largest organ of the body, with a total area of about 20 square feet. The skin protects us from microbes and elements, helps regulate body temperature, and permits the sensations of touch, heat, and cold. The skin has three layers. The epidermis, the outer layer skin, provides a waterproof barrier and creates our skin tone. The dermis beneath the epidermis contains tough connective tissue, hair follicles, and sweat glands. The deeper subcutaneous tissue of hypodermis is made of fat and connective tissue. The skin color is created by spherical cells and called melanocytes, which produce the pigment melanin. Melanocytes are located in the epidermis. Skin structure. The skin is divided into several layers. As shown in Figure 1, the epidermis is composed mainly of keratinocytes. Beneath the epidermis is the basement membrane, also known as the dermo-epidermal junction. This narrow, multi-layered structure anchors the epidermis to the dermis. The layer below the dermis, the hypodermis, consists largely of fat. These structures are described below. Epidermis. The epidermis is the outer layer of the skin, defined as a stratified squamous epithelium primarily comprising keratinocytes in progressive stages of differentiation. Keratinocytes produce the protein keratin and are the major building blocks, called cells, of the epidermis. As the epidermis is avascular, contains no blood vessels. It is entirely dependent on the underlying dermis for nutrient delivery and waste disposal through the basement membrane. The dermis. The dermis forms of the inner layer of the skin and is much thicker than the epidermis. Situated between the basement membrane zone and the subcutaneous layer, the primary role of the dermis is to sustain and support the epidermis. The main functions of the dermis are protection, cushioning the deeper structures from mechanical injury, providing nourishment to the epidermis, playing an important role in wound healing. The hypodermis. The hypodermis is the subcutaneous layer lying below the dermis. It consists largely of fat. It provides the main structural function support for the skin, as well as insulating the body from cold and aiding shock absorption. It is interlaced with blood vessels and nerves. Here are the different bones of the skeletal system. The long bone. The long bone has a long, thin shape. With the help of muscles, long bones work as levers to permit movement. Bones that are longer than they are wide. It consists of a long shaft with two bulky extremities. The short bone. The short bone has a squat, cube shape. They consist of primarily of spongy bone, which is covered by a thin layer of compact bone. The third one is flat bone. Flat bone has flattened, broad surface. For example, include ribs, shoulder blades, breast, and skull bones. The fourth one is irregular bone. Irregular bone has a shape that does not conform to the above three types. Next is the major muscles of the human body. Here are the major muscles of upper limb: deltoid, bicep brachii, tricep brachii, gluteus maximus, sartorius, and here are the major muscles of lower limb: quadricep group, hamstring group, tibialis anterior, gastrocnemius, pectoralis. Here are the major muscles of trunk anterior: rectus abdominis, external oblique. Here are the major muscles of trunk posterior: trapezius and latissimus. That's for today. Thank you so much.